Hello, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. We are playing Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition, A Cycle of Eternity. And I was, in the last video, I was doing my last guess here because I've already used 2 of my lore check guesses and I got 1 more left because William can only handle 3. So I'm going to do this and hope that this is the pattern that I put up top now that I'm going to try to guess on and see what happens. It didn't really pan out so well. So that is my 3rd guess, and that is really the end of my guessing spree, which has not exactly been the greatest. In order to keep William alive, I have to use the King James Bible for his second action, which says, "You or another investigator may discard 1 face down horror." I'm doing this to negate the fact he's claustrophobic and totally scared of this room in general. But now I have some time to use Father Mateo to go after this other puzzle. So I'm solving 2 puzzles at once, at least attempting to. With this one, I'm using Father Mateo's observation. So we did really well with these 2. We got 2 successes on this one here. We failed up here. So it looks like 4 and 2. Oh, that's really interesting, actually, because with this particular one, yeah, it says. Yeah, that's actually really interesting how this puzzle one is turning out, because I got 2 successes on the first one, meaning that 2 things were in the right place. So I'm assuming 4 and 2, but why did they change? Correct position, correct symbol. Huh, that one seems a little odd. Okay, I haven't got any magnifying glasses. I'm really surprised that I got 2 on that one. Oh, maybe the 1 and the 2 are correct. That makes more sense. So maybe let's try 3, 1, 2. Okay, let's try 4, 1, 2. Geez, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so that's essentially it for Father Mateo's first action. He used 2 of his observation in order to do that. So now we're going to go ahead and use second action to do it again, because I've got 2 actions, so I'm doing the exact same thing again. Let's see if I can decipher this. So I'll go 5, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 1, 2. There we go. Finally, we get it unlocked. Awesome. On the very last chance. So Father Mateo goes ahead and unlocks that puzzle. What does it do? You figure out the combination and the drawers pop open with an audible click. Inside you find a grotesque statue of an octopoid dragon, and something else that might be of use. Gain this sedative's common item, the grotesque stone unique item, and 1 clue. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so common item. So it's going to be in this pile here. So I've already got these things organized, like they should be at least. So it should be relatively easy to get this, I hope. So there's the shotgun. Sedatives. All right, so it's this one here. Now it's Father Mateo who gains this. And it says at the start of your turn, you may discard 3 damage and 3 horror. If you do so, discard this card and end your turn. Oh, wow, that's really crazy. Okay, that's really good. And then this other one says the grotesque statue unique item. Okay. Now the one thing I want to mention, guys, that I forgot about is technically at the end of William York's turn, before Father Mateo went ahead and just did that, whenever you end your turn within range of 2 or fewer spaces, because of the way I am, I should be gaining that extra horror damage. So this has been happening for a couple rounds now. It's just back and forth, back and forth. I'm using the King James Bible for 1 action every time to negate this, because William York's claustrophobic. He's got claustrophobia, and it keeps on messing with him. So we're cleaning that up as we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and gain the grotesque statue unique item. So that comes from this pile here, and it should also be in, yep, there it is right there. Perfect. So this item is going to go into his deck. So I'm going to take this deck and put it back. There's a few things I'm going to actually clean up really quick. One thing I realized is Dazed had been long gone from one of the prior videos. Grotesque statue. So this is just evidence. So this is just going to sit up here in Father Mateo's hands. And I get to gain a clue, as it says there in the text. So I'll take 1 clue and put that with Father Mateo. That's it. He's done. Perfect. And then, of course, the search token always disappears off the game board. All right. So I didn't get anything too... I mean, I got some useful things out of there for sure, but now we go into the Mythos phase, and we hope for nothing bad to happen. I'm assuming time is going to be running out here. Through the dark, you see a pair of red eyes slowly moving towards you. Each investigator in the space containing darkness suffers to horror. Okay, perfect. Well, the only spaces containing darkness are these two rooms right here, so we are fine. So nothing happens there. An unearthly sound shudders the estate, leaving your ears ringing. A violent wind begins tearing through the halls. Floors and walls splinter apart. Debris flying around you. Each investigator suffers 3 damage. Oh, wow. So the whole house is going crazy. We have to use our agility to negate this. So I only got 3 with William. He's in this room. I've got no clue tokens on him. This is going to be tough. I suffer 3 damage. I got to try to negate this. Do I have anything that can help me? I do not. So that's nasty. Let's see how this pans out. Oh, really good actually. So I only end up taking, and I can't flip this one to an Elder Sign. I don't have a clue, but I only end up taking 1 damage. So that's awesome. So I take 1 damage. It's face up though, so it's called Grim Resolve. The injury is serious, but you will not allow it to slow you down. The stakes are too high for that. Resolve immediately. Become focused, then flip this card face down. Oh, cool. Okay. So when you become focused, this is something that I haven't actually done all that much in this game up to this point. There's actually some interesting stuff that occurs. So when you are focused, shoot, I may actually not know this off the top of my head. I may have to look this up in a later episode because I'm not actually sure. Oh, that's right. I remember this now. Silly me. It's been a bit. There's actually a card for this, and it'll detail what I get if I can find it here. Now this is the spell deck, so I think I'm looking in the wrong deck. I need the conditions kind of deck. This thing here. Yeah, here we go. So focus. You may discard this card to convert all your magnifying glasses to Elder Signs when resolving a test. That's awesome. So this now made me become focused. That's great. This card then gets flipped face down. I'm going to have to shuffle these two so I don't know which one's which. But that's really good. I'm surprised I actually pulled that card. That was a positive type ending to that. Now I still have to roll 3 for Father Mateo, who's also in the hallway, because this event also hits him as well, and I accidentally just pushed it to the investigator phase. Nice, so he actually stops too, and he only will end up taking 1 damage as well. Now, let's see what happens to him. Minor injury, no additional effect. Flip this card face down. Perfect. So now this is going to go like this. We have 4 damage. He's not killed off yet, and we're totally fine over here on William York's side. Although I should mention, William York, well, I think I mentioned in prior videos, but he's insane and wounded. He's really having a bad day. So really anything could happen to him. But we're back in the investigator phase now. So things have gotten a little bit more interesting. We've got to deal with this silly combination that I seem to not be able to break into, which is terrible, and I feel really bad that I'm suffering you guys through this. You probably are looking at me like, why can't he break into that? I'm going to go ahead and interact with this to try to crack the code again, and we'll see what we can do here. All right, so we're going to attempt it. We're using William York's lore. We have to take a look at these and figure out what we did wrong, because our best success was this one here where we had 3 in the right position. Then we changed some things, only 2 of them are right. The only things that changed were the gold and the green. When we were right, the gold was left, the green was right. Over here, the gold was left, the green was right. Oh, interesting, okay. That's kind of... oh, the blue is in there. So the blue would have given me probably another Elder Sign. Oh, interesting. So maybe it's like this, 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 and... Tough. Have I ever put the red in the middle? I haven't. Let's put the red, another red right there, just to change things up. And then for the last one, let's try doing a green. Yeah, let's try a green. Oh, much closer. Okay, that's more like it. So Now we know that, like, again, we don't really know too much yet because I keep changing. I'm not changing one thing at a time. I'm changing lots of things at a time. I don't know which of the ones that I put in there were correct, but let's go red. I could go red. I know the green one's right now because every single time the green was in the far right, we got another sign. So we know that one's definitely right. The middle one here is probably wrong. I'm going to try a blue there and then a green on the end like that. Okay, so we got the right one but in the wrong position. So the blue one essentially is in here, but it's in the wrong spot. Okay, so I've done my 2 attempts, so that's all I can do this turn. So I have to close this now because I have to use the King James Bible again to get rid of a face-down horror to ensure that poor William here doesn't go crazy. So I'm going to throw that away. So now his turn is done, and I still have Father Mateo here. I want to get him out of the hallway because I know some things can happen in the hallways that are nasty. So let's take a look at what he could search. This thing right here, what is this? A large scroll showing the solar system sprawled across a pile of books. Okay. I don't know if I want to see that or not. Shuffling Curiosities, Mundane Horror. As you scan over the various items, you fall on an urn. Oh, I do not want to smash that urn, that is for sure. This one's the most interesting to me. Yeah, let's head for that. So I'm going to go movement in here, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to search this tome. So let's see what happens. You pull a creaking wooden chair up to the desk and attempt to decipher the archaic scribblings on the tome's pages. Use your lore, which is 4. Awesome. So that's really high for him. That's good. So let's grab 4 dice and see how many successes we end up pulling off. Wow. That's what you call complete failure. I do have a clue, so I'll spend it. I don't know if that's a wise decision or not, just to get one. Oh, geez. I think I just confirmed it without using the clue. So I'm going to bring the clue back. I accidentally clicked that. As you read, the very words seem to twist and change before your eyes, but you cannot make sense of them. Okay, so we just lost it. I accidentally hit the screen. So there you go. That's one thing about the app that I'll say that is a little bit sketchy. Now, the only thing is that it's not the app's fault. It's probably the fact I'm playing this on a phone. It's super small and my fingers are big. So then I'm clicking on things I could accidentally. That's the first time I've ever accidentally clicked something I didn't want to. I do have an iPad mini, which I'm going to start using as well for these playthroughs because, I don't know, just it'll be easier to actually see. You guys will be able to see it better too. But anyway, we've done Father Mateo's turn. So everything is good. I mean, in a way. I do have this right here, the sedatives. Now, I didn't do this at the start of my turn, but the next turn I think I'm going to do it. And it says, at the start of your turn, you may discard 3 damage and 3 horror. If you do, discard this card and end your turn, which is awesome. So I can just blow away a whole bunch of bad things that could potentially take him out. And because his wounds are getting up there, it's probably a really good idea. So you guys probably were screaming at me to do that earlier, and I didn't, but I promise you I'll do it next. So we're going to go ahead and confirm the investigator phase is now over. And here we go. Light fades from around you, leaving anything even inches from your face obscured. Place darkness in each space in the bedroom 2. This Mythos event affects each investigator in a space containing darkness. Oh, geez. So darkness, what does it say? Place darkness in each space in the bedroom 2. So bedroom 2 is Father Mateo. All the lights have gone out in that bedroom, and now this is going to resolve for him. Stumbling to where you know there was light, your hand can feel the heat coming from it, though your eyes cannot detect the slightest illumination. Suffer 3 face-down horror, but your will negates. I do have 5 on will, thank goodness, so I'm going to need quite the roll. Thankfully, I still have my clue because I botched my, because I didn't mess up, or I messed up on the last one, so here we go. Let's hope for be able to negate. Hey, 3, we negated everything. Perfect. And we had a +1 on there too, so that was good. All right, perfect. We're back to the investigator phase and we're all fine. So now what I'm going to do in the investigator phase is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play this sedatives card on Father Mateo. So this sedative says at the start of your turn, you may discard 3 damage and 3 horror. If you do, discard this card and end your turn. Now when it says that you can discard damage and 3 horror, what I am not 100% clear of is whether you can get rid of these things. It doesn't specifically state that you can't. I want to do a real quick little check here just to see for discarding damage. whether or not you're allowed to. Let's see here. Damage and horror continued. I'm just looking at the damage and horror section of the rule book. Damage and horror, you can fix the true traits. When an effect allows an investigator to discard a damage or horror, he may discard a face-up card of his choice or a random face-down card. Oh. Oh. Okay, well, judging from that, I'm allowed to pick, and because I'm using this particular card, and it says discard up to, you may discard 3 damage and 3 horror, I'm definitely discarding this one here, as well as 2 face-down horrors, and I'm getting rid of both of the face-up there and 1 face-down. So I'm just going to take all of these and chuck them up here. That's awesome. So his turn's done. He's much better off than he was. His sedatives helped him out quite a bit, and he's kind of much better off than he was. So we're good to go there, and now we go back to William, who again is trying to play around with this code. So let's see how far along we can get with this thing. We have 2 attempts because we're using our, 3 attempts because we're using our lore. Now in the last couple attempts here went somewhat well. We got 4 right when we had the last one, which means the red one must be correct, and the okay, so let's say we do let's see, oh yeah, that's right. Let's say, so we green, gray, red is right. The blue and the green, we know something's wrong with that. If I do a green and a blue, how many times has that been done before? It's never been done. Okay, so I'm trying that one. Ugh, that really messed things up. Okay, so that was actually no good at all. And somehow we had the right one, but in the wrong spot. So basically it's saying that the blue one should be somewhere else. So I got to figure out which other one that I think is right, which maybe is the gray. So maybe it's like this. Maybe it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Shoot, this is tough. Oh, gray. 2 are correct, but in the wrong spot. 3 are correct. I think those 3 are right. When I got 4, I had all these. I think the green at the end is correct. I think the 2 reds are correct. Let's try this. Let's try it doing like this. I'm going to try to copy a different pattern of the one with 4, see what happens. Okay, so I went downhill. So I know now that this is correct. These 2 are correct. And what I'm messing up on is whatever's at the very end, which I'll put a gold here for my final guess. And I failed. But I think it's this type of situation, but I'm still not able to crack it. So because I'm not able to crack it, I have to sit here and, oh, and sorry guys, in the prior round there, I forgot to take a face down horror, but essentially I'm going to lose it. It's kind of something that just keeps happening over and over, just so you guys understand. Every single time William's done his turn, he's going to take a horror because he's claustrophobic in that room, and then I'm going to use the King James Bible to get rid of it. It's going to be like I might as well not even pick it up because it's going to be like a cycling thing. It's going to constantly always happen. But that's it. That's all I did for the investigator turn. So now we can move on to the Mythos again, which I don't want to see because it's probably going to get worse. Mythos phase. A strange vaporous color fills the air. This Mythos event affects each investigator in the attic. Oh gosh. So this is where William is. Great. The foul mist invades your every thought. Become dazed. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a dazed card for William. All right. Become dazed. You wonder where the fog came from and what it is. Use your lore. So I got 3. Let's see if I can get 1. Yep, I got that. If you pass, you recall a story you once heard and cover your mouth until the color leaves. Perfect. So nothing happens there. The world, oh geez, the world around you begins to bleed together with the strange landscape beyond the rift. All over the property, cracks in the very fabric of reality begin letting in human creatures through from the other side. A massive being of indestructible horror breaks through. Spawn a star spawn as indicated. Oh god, this is bad. Okay, so the star spawn, if I'm correct, is I think the largest monster in the game. I believe so. Let me just reach in the box here and pull this ugly sucker out. It's this guy right here. He's we've obviously taken too much time, and now he has appeared, this massive beast, in this room right here. Oh my goodness. Okay, perfect. I mean, perfect. The star spawn moves one space toward the nearest investigator, then it attacks the investigator in its space or an adjacent space with the lowest agility. So it's going to move one space toward the nearest investigator. Okay, so it's going to go from here. Actually, if it started in that back corner, he's got to take the long way around. So he's got to go like this and slowly walk around here. So that's kind of nice. No invest. Oh, and he attacks adjacent people too. That's nasty. The star spawn moves one space toward the nearest investigator. Oh my gosh! So he's moving even quicker now. So now he's here. All right. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range with the highest horror rating, and none of them are in range because we're hiding in rooms right now. Oh, geez, this is stressful. And that's it. That's the end. So we are good now. We can head the end of the Mythos phase, back in the investigator phase. This is currently where we stand, guys. We got a gigantic star spawn here. I'm fumbling around with the silly glyphs trying to unlock this portal, doing such a bad job. Father Mateo needs to get the heck away from William, so I'm going to probably send him down. I might even send him down into this room and head off somewhere else. He may end up getting killed. I have no idea, but this gigantic star spawn is coming after us and it's nasty. So anyway, this is a perfect time to stop the episode. Hope you guys are enjoying up to this point. I will go ahead actually now at the beginning of this turn. William York, as of right now, he is... Yikes. Okay, so we're starting the investigator phase, and he would normally have had an extra one. I'm going to do this regardless. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to do it every single time. It's just going to be a cycling effect, but as of right now, at the end of the investigator phase prior, he always should be up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because of his silly claustrophobia thing. And I'll just keep using that King James Bible every single investigator phase to toss it. I'll just generically do it, even though it's kind of a pain. But that's pretty much it. That wraps up the whole shebang for now. And we'll see whether or not I can get myself out of this jam in the next video. I really, really need to crunch that lock quicker. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on rolling solo.